Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beck, and today we're going to be talking about the copycat murder done by Ivan Milat's own great nephew. Matthew Millman was born in December of 1992. He was the great nephew of the notorious serial killer Ivan Milat. If you haven't seen my video about Ivan, please check that out. That is in my Spooky Stuff playlist. While many relatives of Ivan Milat changed their surnames or moved so that they wouldn't be associated with these horrific murders, Matthew was weirdly obsessed with it. Although he was born with a different surname, he was born with the surname Millman, he began to go by Milat because he wanted everyone to know that he was related to Ivan. He would introduce himself with, "Hi, I'm Matthew Milat," and then follow up with being like, "Yes, I am related to Ivan." He thought it was this huge claim to fame. He quite often talked about how he wanted to visit Belanglo State Forest, which is where Ivan dumped the bodies of his victims. He wanted to go there, check out where the bodies were dumped, read the little plaques for each of the victims, and he was always trying to recruit different friends to go with him. Matthew Milat was part of a friend group which involved 3 other boys. There was Chase Day, David Octoloni, and Cohen Klein. And they decided that for David's birthday, he was turning 17, that the 4 of them would go out to Belanglo State Forest and pretty much celebrate his birthday. So on that day, they went around, they picked up some food, picked up some alcohol, picked up some drugs, and drove out there. And everything seemed okay until they got to where they were going. So the next part of this story comes from Chase Day's interview with police. He said that once they got there, they pulled over, everything was going as planned, and then Matthew got out of the car, went around to the back and called on David. David got out of the car, went around to the boot, and shortly after, they heard him cry out. And after that, Chase just saw Matthew and David going around the car, and David was pleading for his life, and Matthew had an axe. And Cohen pretty much told him that Matthew has hit David in the ribs with an axe and to stay in the car and not get involved. So after a few minutes of hearing David pleading for his life and Matthew taunting him, everything went silent. And Matthew came back to the car and wanted help to hide the body. A few days later, after all of this had occurred, Chase confided in his father about what had happened, and his father took him to the police station, which is where he made the statement pretty much explaining what happened. When they were arrested, police gathered evidence. So they gathered the clothes they were wearing that night, the shoes they were wearing, and also they gathered Cohen's mobile phone. When they were arrested, Matthew pretty much said that it was all 3 of them. He said it was a group thing, that it wasn't just him. And that the other 2 were just as involved. And Cohen pretty much said that he was terrified the whole time, didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say, and just pretty much let it happen. After conducting interviews with the 3 boys, the police arrested both Cohen and Matthew for the murder of David, and Chase for accessory to murder after the fact for helping hide the body. Whilst the boys were in jail awaiting trial, the police gained access to Cohen's deleted files in his phone, and they found that he had actually recorded the murder. So in the video, you see everything's fine, they're sitting in the car, they're drinking, they're doing drugs, and then Matthew calls on David, and pretty much events happen as Chase described them, that you hear him fighting for his life, you hear him sort of going around the car begging for his life. But the only thing that's different is that Cohen isn't scared. He's not crying for his life. He's not trying to be quiet to keep safe. He's filming the whole thing. And if anything, he's sort of egging Matthew on, and it seems as though he had prior knowledge that this was going to happen. Police sort of had an inkling that he wasn't just an innocent bystander, which is why he was arrested for murder and not accessory to murder like Chase was. In the video, you also hear Chase begging Matthew to stop, but you don't hear Cohen say anything of the sort. After the file from Cohen's phone arose, all of the charges against Chase were dropped, and he actually was a witness in the trial. In the trial, Matthew got 43 years in prison and Cohen got 32 years. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe so that you don't miss any other videos from me, and leave me a comment to let me know if there are any other murders or murderers or anything else that you'd like me to make videos on. Bye!